Self-respect is the foundation you build everything else on. Without it, you're nothing but a leaf blowing in the wind, easily swayed, crushed, and forgotten. When you hold yourself in contempt, you teach everyone around you exactly how to treat you, as someone unworthy of time, trust, or effort. You think women don't notice? Every action you take, every word you speak, broadcasts your internal evaluation of yourself. So let's get this straight. If you want her to see you as a man of substance, you must first see yourself that way. You start by drawing a line in the sand. You refuse to tolerate bullshit, from others and from yourself. No more making excuses, no more rehearsing "I'm not ready," or "she deserves better." She doesn't deserve a man who won't stand up for himself. Every time you give in to laziness, self-doubt, or fear, you chip away at your value. You're not negotiating with life. Life doesn't care about your excuses. You have to earn respect, and you do that by refusing to accept less than you know you're capable of. Treat your body like it matters. You think working out is just for vanity? Think again. You build muscles so you prove to yourself that you can overcome resistance. Those early morning workouts when your mind screams stay in bed are moments where you forge self-respect. You learn discipline, grit, and the unshakable belief that if you commit, you will deliver. Show up for yourself when no one's watching. That's how respect is seeded. A woman sees that. She doesn't need you to be Schwarzenegger, she needs you to own your strength and endurance in your own life. Keep your word. If you say you'll do something, do it. No caveats, no maybe later, no I'll try. You say I'm going, you go. You say I'll call, you call. If you can't commit, then silence your mouth and do nothing. Because every broken promise is a stone piled onto the grave of your credibility. She'll notice the pattern. Promises without follow-through equal a man without backbone. If you want her to trust you, trust yourself first. Keep your agreements with yourself as sacred, and treat your commitments to her the same way. Define your purpose. You're a man with goals, dreams, and ambitions. If you drift through life without direction, you become invisible, ghost-like. Women want a partner who's building something, not just passing time. Purpose could be your career, your craft, your volunteer work, or your legacy project. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's real and meaningful to you. When you chase something bigger than yourself, you demonstrate value. She'll be drawn to that light. Purpose gives you confidence that can't be faked, and confidence is magnetic. Set boundaries, and enforce them. This is non-negotiable. If she cancels plans last minute for something trivial, you don't beg or pout, you adjust and move on. If a friend disrespects you, you address it or walk away. Boundaries are not about punishing others. They're about telling yourself what you will and won't accept. Every man with self-respect lives by clear rules. You protect your time, energy, and values. You don't allow acceptance of disrespect in your circle, and you certainly don't allow it in your romantic life. Speak up for yourself. If something bothers you, say it. Don't bottle it up and explode 2 weeks later. Don't hint, don't drop passive-aggressive comments, just state your needs calmly and firmly. I need you to, or I feel disrespected when are not declarations of war. They're assertions of self-worth. A man who stays silent allows others to steamroll him. A man who speaks with respect for himself and for others commands respect in return. Women respect men who articulate their feelings without drama. Dress like you matter. Your clothes don't have to be designer, but they shouldn't be rumpled or sloppy. You present yourself in a way that honors your own body. You iron your shirt, polish your shoes, and maintain hygiene. That level of care says, I value myself enough to invest time in how I look. It's not shallow, it's practical. When you look in the mirror and like what you see, your confidence rises. And that confidence spills over into every interaction. Manage your emotions, don't suppress them. Self-respect isn't about being a stoic robot. It's about recognizing emotions, owning them, and acting with control. Anger, disappointment, and fear are natural, but you don't let them drive your decisions. You decide how to respond. You meditate, journal, or talk to a mentor, whatever helps you process. When you model emotional regulation, you become a rock, not a bottle of volatile gas. That stability is a beacon for anyone looking for a reliable partner. Prioritize communication. If you're upset, talk about it. If you're happy, celebrate it. If you're confused, ask questions. A man who hides behind grunts or one-word answers shows insecurity or laziness. You use clear language and ask for clarity in return. No games, no mind reading. Self-respect means demanding honesty from yourself and others. You set the tone, direct, respectful, unambiguous. Accept responsibility for your mistakes. When you screw up, own it immediately. No blaming traffic, no my ex did this, no rationalizing. I was wrong, and I'm going to fix it. That kind of ownership is rare, and it commands respect. Women see it and think, here is a man who learns and grows. Avoiding responsibility makes you look petty, defensive, and, worst of all, like you don't respect your own integrity. Invest in growth. You read books, take courses, and seek mentors. You're not content with where you are, you want to be better. That hunger for improvement signals to everyone around you that you're not stagnant. Women admire a man on a growth trajectory. It doesn't matter if it's business, fitness, or emotional health. If you're expanding your skill set and mindset, you're showing that you respect your potential. Master your finances. Financial discipline is a pillar of self-respect. You live within your means, save for emergencies, and invest in your future. You don't rely on handouts or gamble away your paycheck. You budget, track expenses, and plan. That fiscal responsibility gives you options, and options are powerful. A woman sees that you can handle adult responsibilities, and she values the security and peace of mind that brings. Show gratitude, authentically. Whenever someone helps you, you express genuine thanks. When a woman invests her time and emotion, you acknowledge it. Gratitude isn't about groveling. It's about recognizing value. When you see the good in your world, you reinforce a positive environment. A man who forgets to say thank you comes off entitled. A man who regularly expresses appreciation stands out. Surround yourself with winners. Your peer group influences your beliefs, habits, and outcomes. You choose friends who challenge you, not who drag you down. You spend time with men who are building, leading, and achieving. You avoid energy vampires, those people who complain, criticize, and stagnate. When you elevate your circle, you elevate yourself. Women notice the company you keep. It reflects your standards. Be punctual. Showing up on time, if not early, is a concrete expression of respect. Respect for yourself, for others, and for your commitments. If you're always late, you're telling everyone that your time is more valuable than theirs. That arrogance smells like insecurity. Punctuality demonstrates reliability. Women trust a man who honors shared schedules. Practice relentless honesty. No white lies, no sugar-coating. You tell the truth, respectfully. You don't withhold information to avoid conflict. When you get caught lying, trust evaporates. Self-respect demands integrity. Tell her how you feel, what you want, and who you are. If that scares you, do it anyway. The discomfort is a sign you're pushing toward your potential. Get comfortable with discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. You take risks, asking her out, applying for that promotion, traveling alone. You fail sometimes, but you learn more from failure than success. When you embrace challenges, you build resilience. Women respect a man who can handle adversity without crumbling. It signals that you'll stand tall when life hits back. Own your solitude. You can enjoy your own company without needing constant social validation. You read, hike, or reflect, whatever fills your tank. You're not desperate for attention because you're comfortable being alone. That maturity radiates confidence. A woman wants a partner who's whole, not one who looks to her to fill an emptiness. Handle rejection like a man. It happens. She says no. You thank her for her honesty and move on. No begging, no guilt trips, no sulking. You don't erase her number and drown yourself in self-pity. You accept that not everything is meant for you. You refocus your energy on your goals and find someone who values you. That ability to rise above rejection proves you respect yourself enough not to stay where you're not wanted. Cultivate patience. Instant gratification is a trap. You plant seeds, effort, consistency, and time, and wait for results. You don't demand quick fixes from relationships or careers. You understand that trust is built over months and years, not overnight. Patience shows that you respect the process and yourself. Women see that you're willing to invest deeply and thoughtfully. Respect her independence. She's her own person with goals, opinions, and boundaries. You don't cling or suffocate. You support her pursuits, give her space, and celebrate her victories. You don't question every move or expect constant check-ins. Mutual respect for autonomy shows that you trust her and yourself. Women respect men who can stand firm in their own lives while encouraging hers. Speak less, listen more. Most people talk to hear themselves speak. You, however, listen with intent. You absorb her words, ask meaningful questions, and respond thoughtfully. When you give someone your undivided attention, you're granting them respect. That level of presence says more than any words you could blurt out. In a world full of noise, your silence and focus become a rare gift. Control your social media. Oversharing your emotions or complaining online? Delete the app. You don't need to broadcast every mood swing. Your private struggles aren't public entertainment. Maintain dignity. Curate your online presence to reflect the man you are, not the man you fear you're perceived to be. Women value a man with discretion. Value her time as much as yours. If she's investing in the relationship, her attention, affection, effort, you reciprocate fully. You don't flake on dates because a friend texted. You don't ghost when things get uncomfortable. You respect her schedule and priorities. Equitable effort is the mark of a healthy dynamic. Women notice when you balance priorities effectively. Be generous, but not to your own detriment. You open doors, offer small gifts, or pay for dinner when you can. Generosity is attractive when it's genuine. It shouldn't come from a place of fear or desperation. If you give from abundance, not lack, you demonstrate that your worth isn't tied to what you provide materially. That confidence makes your generosity powerful. Accept imperfection. You're not flawless, and neither is she. You make mistakes, you hurt feelings. When it happens, you apologize sincerely and learn. You don't retreat into defensiveness. Self-respect is not arrogance. It's maturity. It means knowing your strengths and weaknesses, and working on them without shame. Women respect a man who can own his flaws and strive for better. Lead by example. In group settings, you don't wait for someone else to step up, you do. If there's work to be done, you do it. If there's a conversation to be had, you start it. Leadership isn't about domination. It's about responsibility. When you take initiative, you show you're capable of guiding, protecting, and providing. Women naturally gravitate toward men who lead with integrity. Stay curious. Ask questions about her world, her passions, her fears, her stories. Learn from books, podcasts, and experiences. Your curiosity fuels connection and growth. When you show genuine interest in understanding life more deeply, you enrich conversations and build trust. Maintain physical health. Beyond fitness, sleep and nutrition are critical. You know that a tired, malnourished body clouds judgment and saps energy. You establish routines, consistent bedtime, balanced meals, proper hydration. Treat your body like the machine it is. Respecting your health demonstrates respect for your future self. Be the benchmark, not the exception. If you display these qualities consistently, they become your baseline. You don't oscillate between high-value behavior and low-value excuses. Consistency cures doubt. A woman sees you as reliable, steady, and dependable. That's the man she wants beside her through calm and storm. Challenge complacency. When work gets routine, you seek a new project. When the relationship grows comfortable, you plan a surprise date or a shared adventure. You don't let good enough become acceptable. You push your limits and encourage her to do the same. Growth together cements bonds. Own your voice. You don't mimic others to fit in. You speak your truth, drawn from experience and conviction. Authenticity is magnetic. Women see through personas. What resonates is genuine conviction. If you don't believe in what you say, neither will she. Teach by sharing. When you learn something valuable about finance, fitness, mindset, you share it. You don't lecture. You offer guidance as someone who's walked the path. You lift others as you climb. That attitude cements respect and admiration. Make decisions decisively. Overanalyzing leads to paralysis. You gather information, weigh risks, and decide. Then you act. If new data arises, you adapt, not waver. This decisiveness signals a clear mind and unwavering confidence. Women trust a man who can choose a path and walk it without dithering. Cultivate humor, dark or dry, but always respectful. Life is serious, but so are smiles. A well-timed joke under tension diffuses conflict and shows emotional intelligence. You don't use humor to mask insecurity or to offend. You use it to connect. Let success speak. You don't brag. You let accomplishments show in your actions. A silent achiever commands more respect than a loud talker. When you let results do the talking, your credibility solidifies. Stay humble. No matter how high you climb, remember where you started and who helped you. A humble man commands respect because he doesn't forget the rules of the ground he stands on. Women appreciate that grounded perspective. Protect the vulnerable. If you see someone being treated unfairly, woman, child, or elder, you step in. Not for glory, but because it's right. Courage in defense of others is the ultimate demonstration of self-respect and moral strength. Keep evolving. Self-respect isn't a destination. It's a journey. You revisit your standards, refine them, and hold yourself to ever higher bars. A man who stops growing begins to die. Women sense that hunger for excellence. Remember, self-respect isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It changes the way you carry yourself, think, and act. And it changes the way women see you, from a boy seeking approval to a man commanding respect. Every choice you make either builds or erodes that respect. Choose wisely.